everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. We are changing the world and living our life the best we can in our Jeeps. I love it. And as always, I'm here beside my good buddy, Don. Don, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Terry?
Man, I couldn't be better.
Same here.
There's like a tinge of excitement in the air.
There is, and this is the last chance to get me to dime out the big secret.
Yeah, you guys,
Jeep parts, guys. That's all it is.
You lost your opportunity. As always, it's Terry here, or T-Bone, depending on how you want to call me. I'll answer to just about anything. I'm easy, and we're. I don't think it's the coronas in the air. I think it's excitement.
It is, absolutely.
And I'm thankful for all the people that have tuned in with us on Facebook Live and jumping in there. And I would like to introduce somebody. Are you ready for this?
I am, absolutely.
I know you've been dying to out this.
I have.
And nobody's taking you up on it.
Nobody has. I got a couple people laughing at me. I'm not joking, man. Times are tough. I need Jeep parts.
We need Jeep parts.
I'll sell out my friends for Jeep parts.
Well, you and I both belong to the same Jeep club.
Yep.
And I've been on this guy for a while to join us. And as a matter of fact, when this was just a vapor in the air, I was begging him to come on because he has so much knowledge. And I'm going to let him really go in and introduce himself. But I'd like to welcome our newest host who will be sharing mic duty with us.
Yep.
His name is Bill. Bill, good to have you on. Are you there still?
Yeah, I'm still here. I haven't run for the hills yet.
Excellent.
But you live in the hills, Billy.
Yeah, he's already there. That's why I didn't have to run.
In the hills.
Well, take a few minutes to introduce yourself. And I know that Don and I'll probably have a few questions for everybody. And we're excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. So as some of you know, I am Bill. I am one of the co-founders of the Jeep Enthusiasts of Eastern PA with Terry and Brandon. And I've met Don through this wonderful Jeep club. So you're getting a lot of Jeepers, as we call ourselves, on this podcast right now.
Yeah, I love it.
More terminology.
Don't worry, we'll dive into that later. So I am a mechanical design engineer for a company called Dorman Products. We work in the aftermarket automotive industry. I've been in the automotive industry ever since I graduated college. Bought a Jeep right when I graduated school. Her name is Big Red, as Terry and Don understand why it's called Big Red. So bought Big Red. She's been wheeling and everything, and then just slowly making mods to it over the time. And then last February before. So, I've had Puddles for a year now.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. I bought Puddles. It's a 1998 Jeep Cherokee 2-door, 6.5 inches of lift, 35s, converted to a manual. So that's my trail rig. So just love the Jeep, love Jeep life, love just driving around in my Jeep. I have this saying called smiles per mile because it doesn't matter about the gas mileage you're getting. It's about the smile on your face.
Yeah. And certainly neither one of those are getting the good gas mileage.
No, but you just filled the Jeep up for $17.
No, right.
Yes,
True.
True. Yeah. So big smiles right now.
This is a dream come true.
Yeah, it is.
So Bill was our very first Jeep of the week. Big Red was featured, and Big Red has gotten a little bit of a change since the last time we featured her, right? You've got some things going on.
I got lots of things going on.
Last picture I saw, there were some fenders missing. What's going on? Blue tape everywhere.
Yeah, so I'm doing a full body compound, trying to get a lot of the scratches out, get all the swirls out of it. Gonna do a body compound, ceramic coat. I repainted the hard top, so I did a full refinish.
Oh yeah.
Fixing some dents and maybe a hole or two that's in a quarter panel. Doing all kinds of fun stuff.
So when are you going to do the ceramic coat, or are you going to have a ceramic coat, have somebody do it?
I'm actually going to do it. I went to the store and bought all the fun stuff that I need.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I paid somebody to do the black one, but it was I don't think I'll ever wax another car. Ceramic coat is amazing.
Yeah, this spring might be an opportunity for me to do that as well.
Absolutely.
It takes a long time to do it.
If you do it right, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my way of doing it is I will pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. After like doing it or halfway doing it, I would definitely recommend paying somebody to do it.
Yeah. I mean, right now I've got plenty of time on my hands to do it.
It's tedious work though.
But I don't have the patience.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just redid the headlights of my wife's Jeep, and
you did them. They turned out decent.
They turned out great. Yeah,
nice.
Quick plug for the McGuire's restoration kit. Yeah. But it was tedious.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of spending a lot of time in one spot.
Yep.
Doing it multiple versions of that.
Yep.
I don't want to do that over an entire vehicle.
Mm-mm.
No, not at all.
Now I had Ceramapro from Lancaster do mine, and it was like I said. I mean, literally, you could hose it off, and the dirt runs off of it. This stuff's amazing. Really is. And the science behind it is pretty cool. So it's a little bit different than wax.
It's an ionization, right? And positives and negatives and all that stuff.
So it's a geez, Billy, help me out here. You're an engineer. What's the terminology they use? Micro or not micro?
I
don't know. Somebody Google that and figure that out.
Yeah. Anyway, there's terminology for it. But wax.
It's a coat bonding. So from what I've read on it, you actually have to get the clear coat paint to be super smooth.
Right.
And then this ceramic coating actually bonds to the clear coat paint, and it fills in all the peaks and valleys.
Right. And that's what's different about wax. Will sit on top. This stuff actually will it'll find its way into all the imperfections in the paint and things like that, and then you end up with and it's a really hard coat then as well, so it's very durable.
Yeah
And the stuff is expensive.
Sure it is. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's going to be worth it, right?
Okay. I think you're nanomolecular bonding.
That's it.
Something.
Yeah, it's nanotechnology or something.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
Oh,
that's awesome. Above my head.
above all our pay grades.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just get in, put the key in, and turn it. If it works, we're golden. If it doesn't, then
I think it ups your miles per gallon.
Yeah.
I'm not serious, but
well, it does make the air
slide right over, which is important
right over,
in a Jeep because they're really aerodynamic.
Truly. So Bill, we're just happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here, guys.
I know
I've been giddy all week. Like I can't say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Can't tell anybody about it.
I know it's been one of those things where we've kind of held this secret tight to our vest, but it hasn't been that hard because we've all been isolated.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've tried to keep it quiet. I've been, for all practical purposes, begging you since Christmas. Literally since Christmas.
Yeah.
And just the timing was just right. And I think the way this is going to work, and we're going to, we're working on some programming changes. Dawn and I've been able to do every other week just from a scheduling standpoint. But for our listeners, we would like to go every week. And I know that life is challenging in itself, and so I needed. I can kind of work my schedule if we time it right to be around every week. So then I knew that we needed another person to kind of share that responsibility, and then when we can, all of us get together.
Absolutely.
And so it was a perfect opportunity. So Don and I'll do a week, then Bill and I'll do a week, then Don and I'll do a week, and then maybe we get all four of us or all three of us together.
Right.
At any time, especially special events when we can broadcast live with those special events, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah.
Does that sound right for you, Bill?
I 110% on board.
Perfect. And I know that I sent out some stuff today on Facebook, but we've just grown, and we've had some people helping us in the background a lot. And I want to recognize our driveway mechanic Frank, who's responsible for a good chunk of our video work. He's just doing awesome work with that. So he's a part of our crew. And matter of fact, I think tomorrow he and I are going to put together another video. We're going to work on that. I think we have a project for the Shady Lady to get rolling. So maybe we'll do a new video tomorrow. And then we have
Amy's Jeep is bigger than Frank's.
Of course it is.
That's why I sold the black one and bought Amy a Grand Cherokee so I could have the bigger Jeep.
That's right. You got to measure every once in a while, right?
You do. I just wasn't. I wasn't enough man to,
Well, Bill's up there in the mountains measuring against himself. He's got two monsters that he just keeps going back and forth with. But now we also have our phone a friend who is guest hosted with us, and that's Scott. So he's going to be around. We'll bring him in on some conversations and see if we can.
Scott's awesome. He's good people.
I know that you and I spend a lot of time between shows.
Yeah.
Picking his brain and sharing energy with him. So it'll be great to.
And in fact, I was just on with him last night. I was on the phone with him for about 45 minutes talking about the power tank. And so looks like there's going to be we're gonna try and do some different stuff with it over the course of the next month or so, month and a half, and we're gonna put some videos out and just try some different things with it.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. I know it's so awesome to have this amazing team around us to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I like to think I'm Superman, but I can't do it by myself. It's good to have other people
around me. Takes the fun out of it. When you're trying to, do too much.
And how much have I learned in the last 2 months just being around all you guys?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yep, same. Yeah.
And hopefully that will rub off on our listeners and they'll be able to learn some stuff. Send us questions when they have them.
Yeah.
Man, we want nothing more than to have a lot of questions, challenge us, make us do some research before the shows, and be able to answer those. I know that one of the projects you want to do is you want to kind of do a dot episode, an in the middle episode that might be a mailbag.
Right.
And we've talked about that.
Yep. So I just started. Well, I mean, you loan me the microphone and can order a splitter and I'll record them. We'll do answer some questions and get technical. And just a 30-minute deal here and there.
That'd be great.
Yep.
I'd love to see it. So that's where we are, and we're excited about where we are and what we've kind of become and grown into. We've got 6 great episodes out there, and people have really kind of jumped in with us. And I mean, I don't even know how many people are actually watching right now, but it's a good chunk of people, and I'm very happy that you guys have all joined us. And I'm sorry if I haven't recognized everybody, but there is somebody that is listening, and I kind of asked him if he didn't mind if we featured his rig as Jeep of the Week.
Yeah,
and that's Mike, or as
you mean MJK?
That's the one.
MJK.
That's the one. And his General, which is a killer 2017 JKU Rock Krawler Xfactor, I think, lift on it.
The Rock Krawler lifts are some of the best that you can get.
Man, it looks monstrous.
It does.
When I stand beside it, it's just It's got a real nice look to it.
Yeah.
He's redone all the decals to silver, so it's a
Yep.
black Jeep with wonderful silver accents. I think he even painted some shackles this week to match. So
that's good looking. I follow it in Facebook and see it in Facebook, and it's a good looking Jeep.
Yeah, all those guys with those 37s. That's just so big. Climbing in there. I know he has those the KM3s.
Yeah,
that's a good looking stance on the. Yeah,
it is. It's a good tire. Well, first of all, the BFG is just like I said before. I mean, there's BFGs and there's Nitto in my world. Not saying there's not other good tires, but that's what I like. And the KM3s are what I ran for a long time before I went to before extreme terrains became a big thing.
right.
I dig them.
Yeah.
Like
he just put the Pypes exhaust on, I think, in the fall, and it's got a nice little.
Did you hear
nice
it?
little rumble to it? Yeah.
I'm curious to see it because I'm going back and forth putting an exhaust on mine. So
we talked about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what his sounds like.
Bill, what's your exhaust?
What exhaust?
So my favorite story about Billy is I'm picking up my off-road travel trailer outside of Quakertown with my wife, and we're driving it back, and I hear something, and all of a sudden my driver mirror starts shaking, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look at my mirror, and there's a streak of a red Jeep that goes by. It was Billy standing on it.
Yeah. So I live in Carbon counties, and we don't have emissions necessarily. We have a visual inspection for emissions, so that means as long as your catalytic converters are there and they look like they function, then you're good to go. But no, I took off the stock muffler that sits underneath the rear trunk.
Did you delete the resonator too?
No, I still have the resonator.
That's really loud
so loud
for still having that resonator, because that's one of the things I was thinking about. I'm like, maybe I'll keep the resonator and just get rid of the muffler. It sounds good, don't get me wrong, but Terry and I are kind of old, so
I've had people comment on my exhaust like, it's too loud. I hear you all the way coming from a mile back, this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, when you're cruising down the highway, it's actually not terrible.
Right.
But
when you stand on it.
Yeah, when I stand on it, and especially I have 488 gears with 37s.
Right.
And when you get on it, you hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mike's isn't that loud. Now when I drive mine sounds like a minivan with mud tires.
Yeah.
That's what because you can't hear the engine. It's just all tire.
And sometimes I enjoy that.
It's kind of nice. I will admit it, but he's got this pipe exhaust. And
I'm thinking his is between ours and Billy's.
That's exactly right. It's right in the middle. It's got a nice rumble to it, but it's not like super loud. So that's kind of nice. When the fact that you're not screaming down the road, especially he's got kids and a family in there, so it's it's reasonable, it's tolerable. And
so I'm watching it on Facebook, and Amy just commented, Amy Toady, no such thing as too loud. So thank you very much, Amy.
Right. Well, except for her squeak. No, we won't go into that because hopefully Frank will get that fixed tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But he also has the Dirt Life wheels. They're good looking wheels, but I've never heard of them before. His rig looks really nice. And then he's just put on a new top, and it is the Lifted Off-Road Products Fastback
Never heard of
hard top. And man, it looks great. It looks really, really good. I like the Fastback look.
Right.
He did a rear tire delete.
Right.
And it just looks really clean. It's got that nice fast look to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him too. I really do. I'm surprised.
He's struggling to find a place to put that 37-inch spare tire in the back of his Jeep.
Yeah, I bet.
He's working on it.
I've actually been talking to him a little bit lately, and he's been talking to me about it. And I talked to him about the whole delete and everything. And thinking about a 37-inch tire, you got to realize how much weight is also thrown onto the back
I
of
know. On a tire
on a
carrier.
tailgate too.
Yep.
So that was kind of one of the things. Another quick thing that he does have on his Jeep, and some people may have seen it, is that train horn.
He doesn't. They haven't seen it. They've heard it.
They've heard it. Yeah, let's put it that way.
Yeah. So
I just looked at Pypes Exhaust is not that expensive. $275.
That's not bad.
No,
yeah, and
that's cut back.
It was easy for him to install. I mean, he told me how easy it was. Now, are they I think they're a local company, right?
They are local. They're out of between, I think, Quakertown and Lansdale, actually.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to hook up with them and maybe go visit
that may be
them.
what I put on. That's exactly what I was looking for, like a high ground clearance. System.
Yeah, you won't notice any difference as far as your ability to crawl over anything with it, and it's got a nice little rumble to it. So, Mike, man, thanks for sharing your rig, and it'll be up on Instagram probably end of the night tonight or first thing in the morning. If you're interested in having your rig and Jeep featured on the show, all you have to do is send us the information. info@jeeplifepodcast.com. We'll be happy to reach out to you, get some photos and everything, and put you on Instagram. I know for me, it would thrill me to no end to have it on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, my Jeep's the most prominent one on our webpage because it's the one that's parked out front. So that's pretty cool. All right, now we've tried to be serious and technical and as knowledgeable as we possibly can, but we kind of had a fun idea. I think, Don, this is your idea.
Yeah. Yep. Lighten it up a little bit.
We're all quarantined up, and so it's a chance for us to have a little bit of fun. So tell me a little bit about this.
So, every group, every club, every walk of life sort of has their own lingo, their own jive, and us Jeep Life people are no different. There's just some phrases, some phrases that we use that nobody else does. And I threw in some other ones. Maybe you guys can add along the way that spread across beyond the Jeep Life and into the four-wheeling off-roading world. But definitely our focus will be the Jeep thing. And the funny thing about this is, none of them are really that serious. Like, we don't have serious. I don't think we do serious in Jeep Life.
Yeah,
we tend to laugh a lot off, which is what really kind of drew me to, drew me to Jeeps.
So it's interesting that where you actually started was literally the word Jeep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's Jeep is there's two theories behind where the name came from. One was originally it was GP, general purpose vehicle, and it sounded like Jeep, so hence the word Jeep. The second one they said was there was a cartoon character named Eugene the Jeep from Popeye.
Oh yeah.
That was the second. That's the second
Jeep.
Yep, and that's the name he made. Jeep. Yep.
Yep.
So that was the second. It's the second theory as to how the Jeep name came to be.
Now this was probably late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, later. I think you're like late 40s.
Right.
We're talking. Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, you're probably right. Early 40s.
Yeah, early 40s. World War II.
Yep.
Going on.
Yep.
It was a little before my time, contrary to a lot of people's beliefs.
So that was the name. The name's unique. Like I said, it's not a person's last name like Honda or Toyota or Ford. It's definitely a unique name. So, and there is no real solid concrete as to where concrete evidence as to where it really came from. But that's the two major theories behind it.
And I had heard both of those, and I think they stand the test of time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think if you're talking automobiles, there's really only maybe a handful of companies or names of companies that really conjure up full meaning like Jeep.
Right.
I mean, I think Ferrari definitely
Sure
has a feel to it that comes up.
And I think there's some sub models within some manufacturers that do. I mean, there's Mustang. There's people that are definitely passionate about Mustangs and Corvettes. But as far as a manufacturer go, I agree with you. You know, Porsche, you know, Ferrari, kind of the there's not a whole lot of them out there, but Jeep definitely does. It's definitely got that lifestyle, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't you know, I just want to be out on the plains driving on some dirt road. And with the sun out, top down.
I agree.
Right.
So I kind of hate to jump in here, but I know a guy, a friend of mine, he actually owns a Toyota Tacoma, and those guys are they're called tacos.
Tacos, yeah.
The taco, you know.
Yeah.
And
we had a taco guy rate our podcast with a 1. We know it was a Toyota guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, those guys, they put the time, the effort, and the work into those rigs, and I've seen some amazing rigs, and you know, I think Jeep people can also be respectable of a well-built rig.
Oh, absolutely. The guys that I initially wheeled with were a bunch of them were Toyota guys, and they wheeled old Toyota trucks. But the new tacos make great overland vehicles. In fact, you know, a lot of guys at OK 4-wheel drive, when OK 4-wheel drive got into overlanding, that's what they switched out to, were the tacos. And still a lot of people are leaning towards them over the Jeep Gladiators because they're a little bit smaller.
Yeah, my brother has a taco.
Yeah, they're great vehicles.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, not as cool as a Jeep because I drive a Jeep.
No, not at all.
Taco guy, it would be, you know, but different.
But I would say that they're probably, you know, definitely a distant second on aftermarket.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
out there for them.
Toyota.
You know, some of the other pickup trucks, not as much, but
Colorado's picking up a lot of steam with that.
Yeah.
That new Colorado that they have. You know, AEV got involved with them, and
okay.
So yeah, I'm surprised.
All right, well, we'll head back over to the Jeep Life since this is the Jeep Life podcast. All you Tacoma people out there, you can start your own podcast called the Tacoma Life Podcast, and then I'll sue you for for infringement on my Jeep Life podcast. And but
I mean, I was only talking about one taco that I've seen that is comparable. So
yeah, then we got off on that tangent. Thanks for
way to go, Billy.
Us.
I'm sorry.
You've been here 30 minutes and you already derailed us.
Squirrel.
Shiny thing.
I love it.
Shiny thing about it.
I love it. What's next?
Well, probably one of the most popular ones, and I get a kick out of this. It's a Jeep thing. And so honestly, everybody's heard that.
Yeah.
It's a Jeep thing. And what does it really mean? You know, and so the Jeep thing is doing things that probably most other people wouldn't understand. So like ignoring curbs. And ironically, Terry did that in front of my house the other day. He stopped by and we had to take care of some stuff. This was, of course, before the quarantine stuff. Yep. But you know, he did a U-turn and Terry, you know, he just it shouldn't have been a curb there.
No, there really shouldn't have been.
No, so rolled right up and over that.
I didn't notice that there was one.
No curbs were hurt.
No, I didn't notice that there was one.
They're like the bumper lanes at bowling.
Yeah, they kind of are. Yeah. So we tend to ignore curbs entirely, and I'm guilty of that too. You know, I'll go to parallel park and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to swing that front tire right up on that curb, and then I don't have to worry about scuffing a wheel if I drive up and over it.
Going up and over is always better than kind of rashing it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I don't know. It's just what we do. And then there's, you know, when we leave parking spots, you know, and you're in the mall parking lot and there's one of those curb stops in front of you and you're like, you know what? It's a drive-through. Yeah.
It's a drive-through.
So you just, you know, that's a Jeep thing. And the mud, we leave the mud on the truck, like, you know, on the Jeep, like it's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
We're probably one of the few that do that, you know, and I'm not a big mud guy anymore just because, you know, I don't dig cleaning it off, and you know, I work on my own vehicles, so I don't want to be underneath, you know, getting eyeballs full of mud. And But there was a day when, I'd take the Jeeps out and tear them up, and that mud would stay on there and it was like a badge of honor. I'd show everybody. I was proud of it.
Yeah,
mud is not my friend.
Now,
after all the time you've spent on this one and what it did to Puddles, no, it's not your friend at all.
What it did to Big Red.
Yeah,
that cost me a motor.
Oh, right.
Oh, was it Big Red? I thought it was Puddles.
No, that was transmission and gears.
Yeah,
That's your first motor
Wow.
went up and down in mud.
Yeah, a lot of it. at
drank
Roush
some.
Creek.
Yeah,
That's a big reason why I just don't want to hydrolock an engine.
I got to drive it home.
I don't have the money to I'd rather not take a step backwards.
Yeah, agreed. Because if I lost my Jeep right now, I'd literally would be in a big wheel going down the road.
I'd load you a Honda.
Can you see me just going down the road in a big wheel?
Yeah,
just pedaling my way.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd have the flag in the back so I didn't get hit.
That would be cool. One of the old Paragon flags. That'd be pretty cool.
Come on, we could hook up one of those light up antenna stick things for you with a 12-volt battery.
Oh, yeah, LED. You got to LED it out.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
It's one of our listeners just threw out terminology of Jeep, just empty every pocket.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're it's the most accessorized vehicle ever.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. So it is easy to spend money on. I've owned vehicles where they're unique and it's hard to find aftermarket accessories, and you get a fab stuff, and so you're not dumping coin like you are with your Jeep. I mean, Jeep, just pick a catalog, open it up.
Yeah, it just stares at me in the driveway every morning. I'll walk out and goes, "Where's my money, bitch?"
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's tough. I got a family and kids to feed.
Yeah.
So
sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes they're gonna have to fend for. Yeah, exactly. Fend for yourself. We're getting new shoes on the Jeep.
Right. But yeah, that's another one. But yeah, and then there's fording flooded roads. That's part of a Jeep thing.
Oh, yeah.
So and it was funny because on the way over there was one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna rail this, but I'm gonna just see how deep it is, and
sure,
drive nice and slow through it. And,
if there's water, I want to go in it.
Yeah, what the heck, right?
Yeah,
and it washes the underside of it.
Well, when my daughter was younger, she wanted to jump in every puddle that was out there when we were out there. She wanted to splash in it. And, it would piss me off. And then, now I realize exactly what that was. I don't want to do it with my feet anymore. I want to do it with the Jeep.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Great analogy. Then there's the parking on the opposite side of the parking lot just to be next to another Jeep. And we do that. We're like, hey, look at that. I'm going to park next to that guy.
Yeah.
And you're like 3 parking lots over from where you need to be.
I've done it.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I go to Target. I know exactly where I'm going to park.
Yeah, how about
I'm going to park right next to that.
That's become a club thing,
Yeah.
I think, there. So. Missing an exit in the highway because of an overly enthusiastic Jeep wave. We talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
We get carried away with that Jeep wave.
Got to say hi.
Yeah. We're the only group of people that are excited about flopping Jeeps. We brag about that. I rolled my Jeep on its side, rolled it back over, and drove home.
I do not want to be that excited.
I don't
about
either, but it is like a badge of honor in the Jeep world.
Yeah,
I've come close.
Yeah, I have to. Be honest with you. I don't want to do it, but I've
I almost became religious to keep mine from rolling over.
Here's some terminology for you: butt puckering.
Oh yeah.
One of the stickers I just saw recently, I'm gonna grab it. It's on. I'll give them a plug. It's jeepwear.com. Mm-hmm. They had a sticker that said "Stop screaming, I'm scared too." That's going on my dashboard somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm out, I might be more nervous than the person in the passenger seat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you don't want to say nothing.
No. You want to try to pump out your chest and be all. But
it's good. Don't worry.
But I'm with you, Bill. That's butt pucker. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Let's put it this way: when my passenger sees me doing it, he knows there's a problem.
Yeah,
He or she knows there's a problem.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, that's a couple things that feed into that. It's a Jeep thing, and it's these series of things we just do or believe that only Jeep people really understand. You know, so.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we do. Another one is that's popped up in the past couple of years: Jeep hair.
Oh yeah.
You know, so put the top down. It's not like a lot of convertibles you drive in. You're driving, they do a good job of creating an air pocket over to the passenger compartment. It's not super, not in a Jeep.
No, everybody,
it'll suck your hat off. It'll, it's you get out and if you have a whole lot of hair, which I don't anymore, but it's not. You got to brush it out, and so definitely Jeep hair.
You have to plan for it.
Yeah. Jeep hair don't.
My girlfriend's actually lost a hat while driving.
Oh yeah, me too. I've a couple of them. Yeah. Receipts, small children, dogs. You know.
I don't have small children, so I can't lose them.
If my hat goes off, I will contemplate, do I go back and get it?
Oh, absolutely. Depends what hat it is.
Right. I mean, it's just like hat trick in hockey. Dude, I'm throwing that hat. I don't care which hat it is. But if it goes off, if I can safely get to it,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. If it could cause terminally damage,
it depends on the hat. You really like that hat?
Yeah, I'll risk
brave the highway.
Yeah.
So Frank just commented, we lost some leftover chicken wings through the roof.
That's awesome.
All right, that might be
that's a kicker. That's the winner.
That's the winner.
That is the winner.
Yeah.
You can always count on Frank for coming up and doing something outrageous.
Good shit, actually. I like that. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, but I can't even comment. I don't know how much stuff I've lost over the years. And sometimes I don't even know what it is. You just see something going out of the back. You're like, come on.
Yeah.
But another one, mall crawler.
This is me in a nutshell.
Terry literally has a mall crawler, and it's not that. I mean, it's a pretty well built Jeep, but it's Terry. You take it to the mall every day, so
it's not anymore.
That's true. You're right.
But it lives at a mall 5 days a week during non-quarantine time.
So the idea behind a mall crawler is, years ago when I got in this with the TJs and stuff, the TJ, I always dug the way Jeeps look, right from the flat fenders all the way up through, CJ5, 7s, the YJs. I can find beauty in any of them, but a lot of people didn't. But when the JK came out, sort of a flashier, more upscale Jeep, and we started offering a lot of parts that were sort of dress-up parts, make Jeep look a lot nicer, not necessarily improve the ruggability of it or durability of it or how hard we can wheel it, but it sure does look good. And that's come on out to Jeep Invasion Wildwood, and you'll see they probably have some of the best mall crawlers in the world out there. I mean, it has some gorgeous Jeeps out there. Guys have $100,000 mall crawlers, and so it's a whole different breed of Jeep, and I'll be totally honest with you. In the beginning of the JK, before I had one, to me it was almost a little bit offensive, but it's become art with them. Like, I've seen some really cool stuff done, and not everybody's into taking their Jeep out and banging it off the rocks like we are. So, that's become a big part of it. And once in a while it's become the brunt of people's jokes. And, but truly there are mall crawlers, and it's become a segment of the Jeep industry.
Yeah. Everybody has their own. So I'm never going to fault somebody for being, what we call a mall crawler.
No, I mean, I agree.
I love all the trim work.
A little ignorant of me in the beginning. I'll be the first to admit that, but I agree. I mean, everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
And you got to admire, like I said, I think we talked about what is a mod. And I admire when people fabricate things, I really do. And a lot of these mall crawlers, we're seeing some, I at least at Jeep Invasion. I mean, that's when I peruse around,
Dutch.
and
Yep.
there are some gorgeous, speaker box cabinets done. I saw a really cool set of half doors made out of wood on a
Right.
JK. So many cool things that
just chrome and moderation.
Yeah.
At least find a
Chrome.
dirt road.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, chrome on a Jeep. It's just I get this impression that a Jeep, no matter what, it's going to have at least one scratch on it somewhere.
Yeah.
But chrome's got to be got to be polished, look perfect, and yes, it does not belong on a Jeep.
Well, I like the now I know Terry feels different, but I like my chrome Jeep emblem on the grill. I don't know why.
So yeah, that's a little.
Terry yells at me all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
He's like, when are you gonna black that out? I'm like, never, Terry.
No, I think if chrome is part of your color choice or your accent color, then I think it works really well. I've seen some really nice chrome wheels that look really sharp.
Well, polished aluminum's back in.
But Bill, to your point, it should be polished. It should look good.
Yeah.
And
when I say chrome, I'm talking about like chrome, like the not good chrome.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like
chrome?
The plastic chrome that's on the window, like rain guards and
right,
that.
right.
So that stuff's not cool. So I should go take that off my Jeep.
Oh yeah, get that off.
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
But I mean, polished aluminum is back in. That's polished aluminum wheels, or that's a new hot thing again.
And anodized wheels.
Yes.
So like that chrome,
that
like
reddish,
reddish and blue, and I can get behind that, especially on SEMA vehicles.
Yeah,
that's a new term that's kind of you see the SEMA Jeep.
Oh yeah,
it's different than that's a similar, same but different mall crawler.
It's like mall crawler, SEMA Jeep. Hasn't seen the woods, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it has 22-inch
like
rims on it. And
some of those rigs are out of this world.
Yeah.
All right. So next word. This is a fun one. I don't know if you two guys have ever experienced this, but I have. Death wobble.
A death wobble.
Death wobble.
Death
wobble is, and that is a Jeep thing.
If I finish this 6-pack, I might have my own version of a death wobble.
So death wobble is basically, I'm trying to think, and Billy, you're good at this, but it's basically when your front tires go out of a line, so they're kind of fighting each other, and then you get this horrendous vibration in the front. Now, it can be caused by a lot of different things: ball joints, track bar, control arms, sometimes all of the above, and a lot of times, in older Jeeps, it's all the above. Tires out of balance, steering stabilizers, yeah. But it is, I mean, it depends. It can happen. It can be bad. And if it happens bad, if you have a bad case of it, it'll shake. I've seen it break track bars off of axles.
Really?
Yeah. There's a video out there again. My friend Chris Shantz from Venture 4-Wheel Drive. He was, I think he was in Arizona. Death wobble and broke the track bar bracket right off the axle. I had to tow it into place and have it welded.
Wow.
But yeah, it's crazy. And if anybody's ever in your Jeep with death wobble,
it's terrifying.
Yeah, look over at them and smile while it's happening. But look at your Hannibal Lecter or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it is. I haven't had it in any of the JKs yet, but I was very religious with the black one. I mean, I had 130,000 on it when I sold it. But again, I would replace stuff before it needed to be replaced. My black one, when I had Maxxis tires on it, I had one tire that was a little bit funky, and if I hit something the wrong way with it, I would get death wobble. And it was it's like a basketball dribbling going down the road. Tire just starts hopping all over the place.
Yeah.
Steering wheel shimmying left and right, and
I've had a little vibration, but
no, you'll know with death wobble. Yeah, first time you have it, you'll have to clean your shorts out afterwards.
Wow,
it is death wobble. And that's a Jeep thing, and it's not just JKs.
So I hate to jump in here. mostly Jeep thing.
Well, I don't mean not a Wrangler thing. It is mostly a Jeep thing. No, it's not a Wrangler thing though. I've seen Grand Cherokees.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
anything with a straight axle that's produced by Jeep.
So that's
Right,
that's
right,
where I was going with it. Anything with a straight axle, kind of, you can get this violent shaking.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an alignment issue. It's basically your alignment's changing while you're going down the road
Quickly.
Yeah, and back and forth and back and forth. So
wow, yeah,
that's the best way I can describe it. Like I said, I don't know if you have a better way to describe that, Billy. You're pretty good with.
Just violent. It actually translates all the way from. So it's usually your wheels shake at opposite oscillations back and forth, translates through your tie rod and drag link up to your steering box, and then translated up to the steering wheel. And that's kind of the real where you visually see the death wobble is in your steering wheel, and feel it is in your seat
in your
and
teeth.
your shorts.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's definitely, it makes pudding out of your kidneys. Definitely does.
Great. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, you got a little bit of time left on that Jeep, but those big 35s are going to start swinging things around.
So I'm guessing the bigger the tire, the bigger the impact? Or
no, the bigger the tire, the more likely it is to happen because you have more rotational mass.
Right.
And that is, again, going back to my philosophy on building Jeeps. That's 33s, 33s definitely, 35s depending on, the type of lift and anything beyond that, you better be ready to put some money into that steering suspension system to get it right to hold together, or that.
What are you talking about?
More. You're built right, Billy. You got chromoly axles. That's all you need.
Yeah, but the steering's I just have it. If you dial it in correctly, that's kind of
it
my
is.
opinion.
But what I'm talking about is how it'll wear, track bars, deflection on track bars, and that suspension. But it is true. I mean, it's harder on JKs are notorious for breaking intermediate shafts. They're notorious for breaking steering boxes, and the bigger the tire,
the bigger
the
sector shafts.
Yep. They do. They break them, and the more the bigger that tire, the more force it takes to turn that. And that's why we're starting to see a lot of these RAM assist systems like PSC, PCS, whatever it is.
So I think another factor in this is that JKs had the wheel well. So JKs in general have a larger wheel well where, the older Wranglers, they had a little bit of a smaller wheel well. So you had to jack them up higher to put a bigger
big tire on a TJ was a 33. I mean, now 35 is the new 33.
Yep.
I'd even say getting to 37 with these new JLs coming out.
Jeez. Yep.
But you're right. It all had to do with you had to lift them more.
Yep.
Which obviously increased the angle as you're swinging out further. A 10-degree change, closer in is a big deal.
Right. Well,
or a little deal.
But actually, the JKs are a little more prone to it because of the bigger wheels. I mean, you're just seeing, like I said, you're seeing a lot of bigger tires. In fact, I think I mentioned it in a previous podcast that the JLs are having issues with they're breaking the aluminum knuckles on the tires or on the suspension systems because of the again the rotational mass. Mopar is saying 37s are pushing it unless you have a decent wheel tire assembly that doesn't weigh a ton on there.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right, Billy. We were chatting before. That's a 37-inch wheel and tire weighs. I mean, what do you think, Billy? 120, 130 pounds.
Oh yeah, so it depends. Do you have steel? Do you have a steel wheel? Do you have an aluminum wheel? Aluminum wheels, you're gonna get a little bit on the lighter side. A steel wheel, I've seen beadlock 37-inch weighing 120, 130 pounds. Like
a wheel and tire.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You got so that's a lot of mass.
That's a lot of mass.
You got to slow that down. That's why we had the big brake kits. Scott just, not just he's got to set up on his Jeep. Big brake.
Yep.
So MJK just commented his are 115 pounds each.
Those 37s and those wheels.
And that's probably honestly at 115 pounds is a pretty light wheel.
That's a light wheel, but also you have to translate it into the amount of energy that's stored in that rotating wheel.
Right, rotational mass.
So kind of my engineering background, you take that 115, multiply it by hitting a pothole in the road.
Yeah.
You can multiply it by 10, a factor of 10. You're putting 1,000, 2,000 pounds of force on a knuckle or a ball joint or something like that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So that's death wobble for you.
That's death wobble. Yeah.
That's death wobble.
I'm going out putting 27s back on
right. We'll start a trend.
That's right. We're going
4 inches
smaller.
of lift and 27-inch tires.
So interestingly enough, where I work, we actually test ball joints in-house.
Oh, really?
And yeah, this is just kind of a side note. Sorry, tangent. Real cool though. We have a ball joint tester that we do impact loads and then a static force load. And we test ball joints up to like 30,000 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what's that for though? That's going to be a.
So we do like a
vehicle?
brake. It's all different kinds of vehicles. So I was looking at, it was like a heavy, not a heavy duty truck, but it was
1-ton truck or something like that.
Yeah, 1-ton truck. So like an F-250.
It's an interesting concept. I wonder what the JK is, what their shear point is.
Yeah.
I can probably get that information, but
that would be pretty cool, Billy.
Like 30,000 pounds on a side load. That's on crazy. A ball joint.
That's
I mean, obviously
crazy.
It cracked, but yeah.
I bet you a Jeep. I mean, they got to do 20,000 pounds because off camp.
Well, I think some of that is velocity, but we're not doing off camper at 50, 60 miles an hour. We're doing it at 10.
Although I was just wondering if I could build a Comanche pre-runner. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Oh,
head out west, do some King of the Hammers.
So I got a buddy that
I
have a buddy that has a Comanche body.
Just waiting for you. Waiting for you.
Yeah, okay. Does it have rust though? See, I don't want to have to. Those are the type kind of Jeeps that you cut the rust out and you're left with like a door.
Well, if you're building a pre-runner, you got to take out like half the stuff anyway.
This is true. Yeah, sides of bed go, front fenders go. Half the hood. Yeah. All right,
He's got a 9-inch and a 44 sitting there too.
It's perfect. All I need after that is an LS engine, and we're ready to go. Or new
and
LT.
What, $20,000 worth of shocks or something like that?
Absolutely, we'll borrow those.
Yeah, got to raise up that front end a little bit.
Call up OK 4-wheel drive. Can I borrow 4 shocks for Jeep Tech Day?
Or indefinitely.
Yeah, right. So
I don't know how they got so dirty.
Yeah. We have the last thing that is unique to, well, it's not totally unique to the Jeep world, but we tend to use our body codes to decipher our Jeeps. So, we don't necessarily call a Wrangler a Wrangler. We call it JK Wrangler. JK is the body line. That one from 2007 to 2018. The new Wrangler is JL.
Yeah.
And that JL, JK, JT is a new Gladiator, TJ, YJ, ZJ, XJ. Those are all just body codes. And we seem to be one of the few groups that does that.
We're latched onto those.
Yeah. We've just, I think it started with the CJ. I think that's how it got started.
Yeah. Well, the MB1 or military based, right? And then civilian Jeep.
Yeah, and I just think it just carried on through, and I thought that was interesting that we've latched on to that and continued that for the life of Jeep.
I think what's one interesting with these body designations, the reason they hold up so well is because there's so many years of exactly the same model line.
So you're saying like Jeep has a habit of doing 10 years on a same body line. Yeah.
Right. And I think that sticks around. And then of course the nerd that goes out and gets the Jeep, they're going to call it by the body designation and be a little more specific than just a guy who gets a Ford Escort.
JKU, JKUR, which is a JK Unlimited Rubicon. Unlimited was a 4-door, and I just. The Honda guys were good for that with their engines for a while. It was like K20 and we kind of do it with our body line, but not everybody does. I just thought that was unique. So
BMWs do it.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
The Beamer guys.
they have like the different motor lines, the EJ.
Yes,
and
I noticed that.
all that.
And
kind of
Subaru
stuff.
for a little bit was doing that too. I know Subaru guys were doing that, but I've noticed on the forums I've kind of got away from it. But I mean, we go. I think it's actually become the main designation for our Jeeps anymore. You don't say Wrangler. Nobody says Wrangler anymore. It's JK. Forums don't say Wrangler form. It says JK form.
Right.
It's
a way to kind of differentiate.
Yep.
And all those JKs have mostly interchangeable parts. Right?
Yeah. JK is the same body line. JL's, the next generation of the JK of the Wrangler.
Right.
And there's 2 doors, 4 doors, Rubicon, non-Rubicon, Sahara, Sport S. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it all the way down to all the lines, like the Liberties and the Grand Cherokees.
Right.
Yeah. You can definitely follow that.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's what I have. There's some other stuff, like we hear the term rig, but that's something that's common across the whole off-roading industry. You hear people refer to them as rigs. And I think that's a cross-reference to, the big brother, the 18-wheeler, just well-equipped, lots of different things on there, onboard air, etc. A lot of those big rigs are the same way. I mean, they have to air over hydraulic brakes, air brakes, so they have onboard air. That's what I'm thinking that's from.
Yeah, it's some good terminology.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think,
yeah, thanks for putting this list together.
Absolutely.
It's pretty awesome to be able to kind of fill in the blanks with some things and then, kind of poke fun at ourselves at the same time.
Yeah.
To have that. So I have some stickers. I know, Don, you've got some stickers.
I've still got a pile of them.
Yeah, and
trying to figure out what I want to do with them.
And I've got some stuck around. Last week I sent out some stickers to our listeners.
Did you really?
And that was awesome. Yeah,
so
I actually had to go buy stamps.
Where's the most unique place that you
sent to Michigan? That Jeep club there, the Jeep Babes.
Yeah,
there got them some local, some just everywhere.
Right.
No specific location, so that's kind of cool.
Right. What do you think is the furthest one you sent out?
Michigan, I think, for right now. Yeah.
You know what? We should send one to our buddy in Montana, Zach Watson.
Yeah.
Remember he sent us?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. I'll do that. I'll see if I can get a hold of him
and see if he can send us the address. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to ask, and I think it's a good way to up our Instagram numbers and get more people listening. Because the more people listen, the more fun it is because they send in questions and all that stuff. It's better all around. We have more than doubled our Instagram presence in the last week. But I would love if someone posts a picture of their Jeep with a spot ready to go for the sticker and tags us and a friend in it. I will send them a Jeep sticker.
Okay. But hey, whoa. Let's make it 3 friends.
3 friends. All right. 3 friends.
3 friends.
Up the ante.
Let's be greedy.
Yeah.
How
you gotta tag with 3 friends.
3 friends. All right. So you can either tag 3 friends or 1 friend, or just let me know you want a sticker.
Terry just likes mailing out stickers.
Yeah, I've got an extra 55 cents in my pocket, and right. I want to support the Postal Service, and no, but we'd love for you to tag us and then tag as many friends as you can. If you tag 55 friends, I'd be happy. Yeah. And get us out there.
I think you'd only tag like a max of 15.
All right, well then do 14. Us and 14 other people. How's
Absolutely.
that sound?
Sounds great.
And then I will hunt you down. I will find you. I will get you a sticker. And then of course we want you to post a picture of that sticker when you get it on your Jeep and tag us in it as well.
I still gotta get mine on.
Yeah, you've told me that you have the right places for it.
I do.
And I keep looking and it's not out.
I've been
there.
Driving it like crazy because I know after this it's going in the garage for a while.
Yeah,
you got a lot of work.
You got some work to do on it. So if you would do that, I know, hey Bill, I'll send you some stickers. I know you don't have any stickers, so I'll send you some as well.
Well, yeah, we'll figure that out.
But our Instagram is at Jeep Life Pod. It's easy. Jeep Life Pod. So
Amy, my wife,
Yeah.
she didn't know we had an Instagram page.
Oh,
Really?
She does now.
oh, she does now.
Yeah, she found it today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody that doesn't know we have one, find us. Find us. Get it out there.
Be honest with you,
Yeah.
I really didn't know until like 3 weeks ago.
I only say it
I
every
know.
episode.
Yeah.
But Instagram's
Don,
not the only
you
place.
know we have a Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm good with the old man I'm good with the old man technology. It's when we get into this Instagram and stuff like that. You know, it blows my mind.
The new stuff.
Yeah.
The new stuff. All right. So Facebook is, as Bill mentioned, that's a Jeep Life podcast. So facebook.com/Jeep Life podcast. If you're watching this Facebook Live, you should know that already. You should be there. Please share it with your friends. It doesn't hurt us at all. YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel, which is where we put all those videos.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
and just go search.
This will go on there, right?
This will be on there.
Right.
Absolutely. We usually we'll post the video of it the
Right.
day after I release
Right.
on podcast.
Right.
And that's Jeep Life Podcast. Just go search that. You're going to find us pretty easy. It has a lot of our content on there. And then we're on Apple Podcasts, Google, and Spotify under Jeep Life Podcast. Please give us a review. We have 6 reviews on there, and they've been awesome.
Spotify?
I don't even know how to check reviews on Spotify or Google.
Yeah.
So if anybody does know how to do that and we have reviews on there, send them to me.
Okay.
I don't think there's any reviews on Spotify.
Is there-
probably not.
Is it even a thing to do? Can you do
No.
it on there?
I don't think so.
No. All right.
YouTube though, we can see the comments on YouTube.
Yeah. Send that in. Let's see what else. What other things do we have? Info at jeeplifepodcast.com. If you just want to send us an email, that's where you do your Jeep of the week. That's where you can beg me for stickers, and then I'll tell you to go to Instagram and tag us and your 3 friends. But info at, if you have a question that you want us to answer.
Yeah, and like I said, we're gonna probably do this mailbag segment. Not probably, we'll get into it. But you get questions, hit me up. I mean, like I said, I've been working on cars and Jeeps for a long time, and I'd love to help you out. Like I always tell my classes when I do an adult ed or regular ed, if I don't have the answers, and I may not, I know where to find them.
Yeah. So before we go off of those reviews, Parker0615 did leave us a review on the podcast app.
Yeah.
Finally, a Jeep podcast with great sound quality and interesting host. Well, thank you.
It's mostly talking about me, Terry.
Yeah, well, I had my hopes up and then they were dashed. But thank you for that, and we
don't mention it.
We love hearing that. Hey,
Don't worry, I'm coming for you, Don.
I hear you, buddy. You can have it.
Yeah, he's the most interesting guy, you know. Hey, this has been awesome.
Absolutely.
And Bill, thank you so much for finally giving up into my begging.
Yeah, I'm stoked about having you here, Billy.
I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Like,
good deal.
Yeah. So everybody, check us out. Thanks for listening to us, and I can't wait to see you out on the trails. Take care.